We've got chicken dinners, Overwatch, the Rocket League, and a champion in the E-League. You're watching the Podium. G'day gamers and welcome to the Podium, where we take a look at the biggest hits, epic takedowns and classic comebacks from the world of esports. I am joined by Mr. Job Gilroy.
I'm here with Bo O'Shea, bringing us all the epic hits and classic takedowns.
We are bringing all those things to you, as always, here on the Podium. So we're going to kick things off, literally, with some action from the E-League, which we saw a champion this week.
We did, yeah. It wrapped up. It was actually a really good competition. Although Sydney FC rolled in as the premiers, but they managed to they managed to secure the finals as well. It was really close. Melbourne City did their best. Marcus Gomes took it all the way down to the wire, which is the highlight we're going to watch. And then Joshingwood backed up for the PlayStation version or PlayStation leg of the event. Wasn't able to take down Samer from Sydney FC. And it looks like Joshingwood and Samer will be heading to the World Cup qualifiers later this month, I believe.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we've got a clip. Let's check it out.
Samir, every game he's played today has gone to extra time, so not unfamiliar territory at all for him. 3 minutes of added time. Still time for Marcus here. Thierry Henry going to Ruud Gullit. Are we going to see a 90th minute winner? Probably not with a Vieira deflection. Are we going to have enough time here for Samir to potentially win this one? Vieira going through there. Ronaldo onside. Cristiano Ronaldo. The turn, the shot, the winning goal. It's going to be Samir and Sydney FC winning the Xbox division. What a goal there. Individual brilliance from Samir. Marcus absolutely shattered.
So it's pretty heartbreaking.
I mean, it depends on which side you're on, but yeah, you would have to be gutted if it got... I mean, you just had to take it to full time, right? And you could see how you went in extra time. I don't know, it's rough. It's always rough.
Yeah. So with the competition now ended, how do you feel that the league went overall?
I thought it was good. Obviously, some of the competition was not as strong as the rest of it, but that'll grow over time. That's always the case, especially in evolving, emerging leagues. And I think the next time we see the E-League, we'll see even better games, better competition.
Yeah, because Sydney FC only lost the one game in spectacular fashion, mind you. But
yeah, and it was one of those cases where they were just dominant the whole time. But it could so Melbourne City a lot of the time, and it could have gone anywhere really. So
yeah, looking forward to the next season. So dropping into the next topic, we've got some PUBG on the Australian Invitational.
Yeah, so down at the MCEC. Was Australia's first major LAN for PUBG, and it went off really well. It was run by Zemo. It was a Chinese company putting together a massive Asian competition, so they invited teams from all over Asia, and as it turned out, a bunch of teams from China weren't able to get their visas in time to play, which is, awful for them, but it was good for some Aussie teams who were roped in at the last second to come play. Two of them, Atletico and Pathogen, they managed to get in, and they did extremely well, placing first and second. We're going to watch Atletico's Heifer. Oh my lord, he goes 1v3 against Pathogen to take out a chicken dinner, and he shouldn't have gotten away with it.
Smoke's come out from Pathogen, but Textile is low. He's taking a bit of damage. There's Heifer though, has been spotted finally, surely. He gets one knockdown. Can Heifer do it? The smoke actually is going to favour him here because they're not sure where he is. And with the knockdown onto Yeti Aztec, it gives him a chance. And if he has any frags, now's the time to use them.
Mavgod is still alive in the ocean. Mavgod is still there.
He's gonna do it, isn't he?
Mavgod.
He really is.
That unit. He's an absolute unit. But here we go. Heifer. It's your moment to shine, mate. If you want to get some clips, if you want to be on the highlight reel, you want to be shared around the internet, now's the time to do it, mate, as he's just sitting on the outside. And there's Pathogen's behind the rock. He's just waiting for the zone to move forward.
Only two for Pathogen left. That's Textile and Resolve. He's going to spot Textile. Oh, he's going to knock him down. Heifer, one more. One more, and you can almost get Atletico, the chicken dinner.
Golden beat.
Exactly. It's very golden. He's picked up 3 kills, only one more. Resolve comes out. He's a bit of a frag and a headshot!
Oh my God!
From Atletico, no way!
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be upset. I would be upset if I was on Pathogen. I would be yelling at my teammates, but I'm not a very good teammate. So that's what that is. One of the things you might have noticed is that they were playing in third person, and most of the time in the oceanic scene, the competitive players they play in first person. And so it was a bit different. You got a lot more information in third person, and it's a little bit more, I guess, cautious as a result. But Atletico Pathogen still managed to take it out, and yeah, they did really well. It's awesome.
And it's good to see PUBG, like getting involved, with the competitive space, because it has been this underground movement for so long.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of getting to the point where Chinese businesses are setting up invitationals in Australia, which is great for us and our local competitive scene. How have you seen that kind of evolution of it as a competitive sport?
It's a really interesting one, and it's one of those situations where they're still working out some of the kinks. One of the things that they really need to do is incentivize teams to take fights as much as possible. And in this tournament, they did that by giving kills 25 points. That meant that if you got 6 kills, you could make up the difference between second and first place, which meant if you got a lot of kills, you could actually play well above where you actually placed. And that's a really good way to do it, because it means more action for viewers as opposed to sometimes there's a lot of camping. And it can be a bit dull.
Yeah, and you said the Australian teams tend to be great campers, right?
Oh, yeah. We camp way too much, and we definitely need to get in and do more killing. But
less camping, more killing.
Exactly.
Now, heading out onto the pitch, we've got some Rocket League Championship Series results coming in.
Yeah, so the Chiefs were dominant as always. They are such a strong team. They've been together forever. Their skills are, they're well honed at this point. And they just seem to work like a perfectly oiled machine. And so they wound up dominating. It was mostly a question of who was going to come second, because 2 teams would get to go to the RLCS Worlds, and it turned out it was Tainted Minds. They still, in this clip you'll see, they still weren't able to stop the freight train that is the Chiefs.
Swing and a miss from CJ. No, that was Jules, I believe. CJ now on the defense, but he's just giving it over to Torsas. Interaction from Kami. Drippe back in as well. That net and the demolition sets it up.
One of the fabled Torsos demos. He is one of the least likely players to demo, but when he does, he picks the timing perfectly and opens the net for his teammate.
And there you go. That's some of that weld machine action in action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with those results and moving on, how were you impressed with the overall quality of what we saw from RLCS?
I thought it was a great tournament. I think it was a great season and a great way to end the season. I actually really like the commentary that they put together each season. I think they're great casters. And the level of competition is there. It's a case of, people catching up to the Chiefs. They're going to do it. Inevitably, the Chiefs will plateau, and all that will be left is for the teams like Tainted Minds and Darksided and Legacy to catch up.
Yeah, so it's exciting to see what happens in the next stage.
Yeah.
Now we head over to one of the competitions that's making a bigger splash than most when it comes to competitive esports, and that's the Overwatch League.
Yeah, we haven't touched on this a lot, but basically the Overwatch League is smashing overseas, and we've got a couple of Aussies over there. The LA Valiant have Custer and assistant coach Gunbar. Custer was transferred across from Dallas at the start of Stage 3, which is currently ongoing. He is a fantastic support player, and it looks like playing alongside Gumber has been working out well for him, or with Gumber as his coach has been working out really well for him as well.
Yeah, because as a support player, he actually pulls off a mercy kill.
Yeah, that's what we're going to see here. It was very cheeky, long range as well, which is even more impressive.
Yeah, let's take a look.
And here comes the Riptire. Agility's on the run as Jake chases him down. Doesn't get anything out of that one, though. Soon taken out. Custa got the kill on the Jake.
So there you have it. Not only great to see Aussie players competing at that level, but pulling off moves like that.
Yeah, it was a high school move, and he did well. And in the green and gold of LA Valiant as well, which is a nice little coincidence.
How appropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously Overwatch has been making a big splash, and it's approached by, with all these big owners, of professional sporting clubs, and it's a very kind of sophisticated operation. How do you think the performance has been overall?
Oh, it's been a rough inaugural season for them. A lot of controversy from a lot of players not really prepared for entering the spotlight, I guess. So yeah, we've seen a lot of I don't know drama, but it will fix itself up over time. As it's just one of those things. Players need to realize they're always under the spotlight now, always on camera, and everything they do is watched and stuff.
Yeah, much like young players entering other leagues, you know, professional leagues around the world, and maybe because the spotlight is so bright on the Overwatch League, because of all the investment going in it, these messages get amplified out. But at the end of the day, it's great to see such a level of sophistication with a league like this, and we obviously want it to succeed.
Yeah, they do a fantastic job on the production, and the amount of level of competition that we're seeing is also fantastic. We're seeing it come up in Australia as well with the contenders, and I'm hoping we see a lot more Overwatch from Australia soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you have it, another great round of action from the world of esports. Some series coming to an end with some great matches, which is always great to see. But of course, there's even more action coming up because there's a big one coming up this weekend.
Yeah, IEM Sydney takes over this weekend. It's going to be massive. Counter-Strike on a global scale as the best teams from around the world descend upon us. We've already got, the group stages have already kicked off. Some so-so results for Aussie teams, but we're definitely going to see awesome stuff down the line. We've got a clip of Greyhound's Dick Stacey erecting a wonderful monument to what IEM means to him. Have a gaze at that.
See you next week.
But of course, I'm standing here with Big Dick Stacey. Talk to me about the team's expectations as we go into this tournament.
So the team's expectations going in this tournament, we're pretty thick and pumped right now. We're going in, just heads up, going straight in there, nice and hard, and see what we got and deliver.
I don't know if I could have said it any better myself, but of course we heard what the Greyhound said. Let's go ahead and check out what the other team said as well.